Swarupam Nijabodharupam Yogendra Midyam Bhavarogya Vaidyam Srimad Gurum Nityam Maham Bhajan. Om. And now sit in the rose-colored aura of your love. Within your heart is a golden lotus. Visualize within your heart a golden lotus. If you sit up straight, then I can give you a transmission straight. Now, you have the golden lotus of your heart and I have the golden lotus. There is a rainbow bridge connecting each of our hearts. Connect with me with the rainbow bridge. And as you inhale gently with love, the lotus bud opens into a blooming lotus. And as you exhale, the golden lotus closes into the golden bud. This is called the golden lotus, the Ananda Kanda technique, the seat of joy technique. So now sit in silence, fall in love with the lotus of your heart, and miniaturize yourself. If you've seen that, like that movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So shrink yourself, sit in the golden lotus of your heart as I'm guiding you. Even my words will convey a spiritual energy which will make your body light, which will make you vibrate with love, and focus your mind on the golden lotus with you sitting in the center. Now inhale love, inhale deeply through your nostrils as the petals of the golden lotus open and reveal you are sitting inside the golden lotus in meditation, lotus posture. Hold your breath with love and wisdom and gratitude. And now through your nostrils, exhale your breath slowly. Exhale love to the world and let the golden lotus close. Your attention and mind is always focused in the heart, the golden lotus of the heart. Inhale love gently and long and rich and deep. Now hold your breath for 5 to 10 seconds. And then after having surfeited and fulfilled yourself with God's love, every pore is filled with the juice of God's love. Then you exhale gently through your nostrils and your third eye and give the love to the world. You can also feel your exhaling in through your heart. The breath comes up from the stem of the lotus as you inhale, opening the lotus petals, and as it goes down through the stem, it radiates and spreads out to the world, giving it all love. So you inhale love for self-peace, hold your breath, and then exhale love to the bottom of the stalk and let it spread to the world for earth peace. Inhale love for self-peace, hold the energy, and exhale love for earth peace. Inhale love for self-peace, hold, exhale love for earth peace. Keep doing this, but very slowly, okay? Inhale love for self-peace and hold. Now exhale from your heart the love for earth peace, give it to the whole world. And hold. Inhale love for self-peace. And hold. The golden lotus is open. You are sitting inside, filled with love. Now exhale love, which goes down from the bottom of the lotus stalk, spreads to the world for world peace. And hold. Inhale love for earth peace gently through your nostrils, and the golden petals of the lotus open and hold. And exhale love for earth peace and hold out. So you're holding out and holding in. Now inhale love for earth peace. Hold it within yourself for self-peace, as long as you are comfortable. Now exhale love for earth peace and hold it out as long as you are comfortable. Now keep doing this. Visualize you're sitting in the golden lotus. Keep this slow motion of breath. But remember, hold for at least 10 seconds out and 10 seconds in. So self-peace, earth peace through self-peace. Come, do it, and I'll transmit the healing energy in your heart, center, and your whole body. The more you're tuned to me, the more you'll receive the healing, enlightenment energy. Healing and transformation. Experience and feel healing and transformation. Keep doing the technique as I give you the healing, experience, and transformation. Relax your mind, let go, and tune into me. Connect with the rainbow bridge, your heart to my heart. So both the golden lotuses are connected. Inhale love for earth, peace, and hold. Exhale love for earth, peace, and hold. Inhale love for self, peace, and hold. Exhale love for earth, peace, and hold. Continue to do this. Self-peace is God and earth peace is God, remember. And as you practice it day by day, you'll get miraculous effects for peace and love. Your life will be transformed. And then say, Hallelujah, Gurunath, Hallelujah. Okay, keep doing it, I'm still transmitting. The more you connect with me, the more you're in tune, the more you'll feel the energy transmission. Your whole body is filled with light. You are seated in the golden lotus. The miniature you is seated in your golden lotus. As you inhale for self-peace, the lotus opens its petals. And as you exhale out for earth peace, the lotus closes its petals. Inhale for self-peace and hold with the petals of the lotus open. Exhale for earth peace and hold with the petals closed. They're closed because you and your loving spirit has gone to the earth and entered every soul of humanity. 7 billion souls are permeated, O Lord, with love. Vichay. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hom Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Jwal Prajal 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 Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hom Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Jwal Prajal 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 Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hum Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Prajal Prajal Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha. You are hearing the most advanced language in the world. You are hearing the most ancient language and the most advanced language in the world. It is so well formulated that it can cure you, it can heal you, and it can give you a vision of God. That is the power of the word. These are the most ancient words. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hom Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Jwal Prajal Prajal Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hom Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Jwal Prajal Prajal Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hom Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Prajal Prajal Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha. Om Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Om Glom Hom Kling Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jwal Prajal Prajal Aim Ring Kling Chamundaya Vichay. Jwal Hang Sang Lang Sang Fat Swaha.
May I ask one question? What language is that?
So, it's good to go to the Rastafarian group and to go to Africa and chant the most ancient language. Because Africa also has rudiments of this language of Prakrit and Sanskrit from which it is made. There are a lot of similarities. So I've just shown you a well-formulated formula. Like you have prayers and this thing, but they are not formulated. They loosen it. This is compact. It's a spiritual love bomb. It hits the target, explodes and accomplishes the purpose. So like you have hate bombs, you have love bombs also. So this is a love missile. This is Sanskrit and Prakrit, and this is from the Shakta tradition of the Kunjika Stotra, so very ancient languages. They're lost in the night of prehistory. The language is lost in the night of prehistory. They say it comes from the planet Venus. Some say it was given to us from the planet Sirius, Lugda, Vastuspati, Shiva. With this I conclude, and I have done, I hope, a good service which I have come to serve you with all my heart. And I hope you felt. How many could feel the transmission and energy flow? Raise your hands. Let me see. Very good. A lot of receptive people. But if you have a question in mind, you won't get it. You have to learn. See, you don't know everything in the world. You have to learn till your dying day. I'm 70 running now. I'm still learning like a baby of kindergarten. If I don't, I cannot give you knowledge. If I don't learn, I have the ego of I know. The moment you I know, you're blocked. You're blocked. You don't know. Only He knows. You don't know. I don't know. He knows. And because I don't know, He knows, we can give God a chance to speak through us. If we are speaking ourselves, then God won't get a chance to speak through us. The Lord of the world is so humble, He hath not a place to lay His head. So He goes to the wilderness and lays His head on a rock. Because you people have, the tenets of your thought are so much in your mind that He has no place, no accommodation. Sorry, house full.
There's no room for everyone.
There's no room for God, but for everything else.
But people think they know it all.
They know it all. Those are the guys who know it none.
I just remember that Ethiopian priest had taught us that in creation, the Creator said, man is so presumptuous and so devilish, so I'm going to hide from him. If I might go up in the skies, he's going to come down in the, he's going to come to the last place man is going to go is within himself.
Yes.
So when people say God had a point up, I know the astronauts think like, but something that I wanted to mention in my introduction. A man climbed the highest of mountains to see a guru, and his question was, which has more power, good or evil? What do you think the guru told him? The one you put the most energy in.
Very nice.
So,
Very nice.
like
It's
I
what
said,
you lend
beginning,
more energy to.
Energy came with this man, and I asked people to have open, receptive minds, and I think the selection was made. So
Even now, if you drop your mind, you'll feel the rushing, the energy rushing in. Even now you have a chance. It's all around you. Hey, come on, man.
no feedback.
It is all around you. Even if a person comes late and they sit and they tune and they say, okay, let it come. They'll feel the energy rushing in. But sit like a child of 5, drop all inhibitions, sit like a child of 5, and you get it. So if one of you have received it here, more than half the people received it, then all of you can receive it.
Oh.
Right? You guys received it? Very good. God bless you. Yes.
Would you kindly enlighten us as to what language that was the most ancient yet the most sophisticated? The language that you chanted in after the meditation.
Prakrit, Prakrit, Sanskrit, and from the Agam and Nigam Shastras. These languages are collected ancient languages. They're Bijaksharas, Bijakshar, from the language of Sanskrit and Prakrit. Actually, they came, Prakrit was before Sanskrit, and it has some Shramanic traits in it. Shramanic, from which the word shamanic came.
Before we depart, I'd just like to share something that might seem a little ludicrous or stupid, but I'm just going to ask people to spell the word yes. Okay, why yes?
Why?
E-S, okay.
E-S.
So I'm going to ask you a question, it's very important. E-Y-E-S. Put your hand up if you know what that is. E-Y-E-S. Anyone?
Eyes.
Yes. But people tell you there is no such word, or you say E-S or ish. Spot is S-P-O-T, correct? S-P-O-T spot. Everyone agree? So what do you do when you get to a green light? You? Stop.
No, you stop. You stop when you're in tune with nature. But if you're in your normal state, then you can go ahead. Hey, green light, stop.
That's nature. You stop with nature and
Yes.
with yourself.
No, that's not a program that we sometimes live a program in existence, and sometimes we are not aware. And this is what the song man is here about. Awareness, consciousness. So we want to, beginning from this moment on, be cognizant of the fact that you don't, just because you can hear something or see doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Dogs can hear what we can't hear, long before they find it, they're screaming. And through infrared, you can see stuff we never see. So just open your hearts and your minds to the invisible, the spiritual world.
Your senses extend. Extrasensory perceptions develop with breathing. It refines your body and your system. You know, like a rock by the ocean or the river, it gets round and smooth by the constant. So your constant practice rounds off your rough edges and extends your perceptions, the extrasensory perceptions, intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience, telepathy. Everyone has a birthright. All of you can do it. All of you have it. And that's why we are encouraging you to pour your energy in the right source. God is within. So give Him every moment. The answer lies within. So give all your energy, not outward, pour it inward, and the God within shall awaken.
Ja!
Rastafari.
Alak Niranjan. We also have a Rastafari. I like the way you say that. Rastafari. So what does it mean, Rastafari?
Rastafari.
Oh, it's you're honoring the
His name
king.
is Tafari. As a child, Lich Tafari, which was a prince.
Oh.
And then he assumed the Ras as another title. And as a regent.
Could you speak up loud for those who might not be enlightened as well?
Yeah, the name Rastafari people have their subjective reasonings and so on, but the emperor as a child was named Tafari McConnell, which was a family name. And Lich Tafari he was a prince. And there's an autobiography that he did. There are also a lot of stories that people tell you, Ethiopians and people, elder people who have experienced this. From Ras Tafari, he ascended to the throne as Haile Selassie I, which means the power of the Trinity, as we all know. And the titles that accompany that are not just words. Light of the world. It's not simple because he actually was the light of the world. When Hitler let loose, it's because Mussolini had a free ride. So Hitler said, okay, I can do my thing. But the emperor had warned that 5 years, he went to England, to Bath, you know that history, where he traveled in the name of Mr. Strong. And the commentator said he went to pray to his God, but his prayers went unanswered. I don't know who he was connected to, the person who was saying that. Anyway, the emperor spent 5 years in England, and it was horrible, the weather and everything. But he prophesied that he would return to his kingdom in 5 years. And the 5th day of May, 5 years ends, he returned to people who were fighting for the beginning of African liberation struggle started in Ethiopia. Because Ethiopia is basically the last bastion, the last place that wasn't colonized by the Europeans. Hence, the emperor's return to guerrilla fighters who were along with nature, fighting the enemy and getting them out. Most historians will tell you Britain did it, but Britain didn't do anything. Britain was planning to capture Ethiopia too. So when the emperor went to England, he went in the heart of his enemies. And they were scared. The lords were like, how can you let the fire in here? That's like letting the cat in the phone coop. One of them had, Jamora, are you here? Jamora is the one who gave me that detail from one of the Duke of Gloucester's diary. Really. So the main thing is that, like I said, African liberation struggle started with people in Ethiopia defending their independence and sovereignty, which Ethiopia has maintained to this day. Regardless, we have to keep abreast with what is going on in Africa because we just get the news media. A lot of the visions that His Majesty had for Africa, as he had said, he was a founding member of the League of Nations, but he had to bury that. He called it a sepulchre because they didn't have the will to act. Collective security, international morality are the watchwords which the emperor used to save the world. Madani Alam is one of his titles, Savior of the World. Hence, when he actually returned to Ethiopia, they had to return a lot of the things that they had stolen. But then Ethiopia started in a modern Ethiopianism trend, which today, a lot of the accomplishments, just recently I was seeing Ethiopian Airlines, that they're having trouble, but some monster planes, Ethiopia, as one of the biggest army in Africa, and it's very well established. Due to His Majesty. A lot of people don't give him credit. Like I said, Time magazine didn't recognize him as one of the people who influenced the world of the 20th and 21st century. Listen to a quote from His Majesty. Computers, no matter how precise they may be, are man-made. And man must remember, man is a creation of the Creator. And there is no love or sympathy in computers. And he made that speech like in the 60s. And a lot of things that are very pertinent to us today in terms of, let's say, Africa. Africa waits its creators, all of us here. So, I don't want to talk too much, so let me sit down.
But very interesting, very nice. Yes.
I would say African liberation starts with Ethiopia.
Modern.
African liberation starts from the day they kidnapped Ireland from the continent.
That's
Ethiopia highlighted, but to put history in its perspective, we were fighting from the day the colonizer kidnapped Ireland. We fought on the ship, we fought wherever the ship docked, and we continue to fight.
True.
But who wasn't? I mean, all countries pass through this stage. There's nothing to be ashamed of growing up. We have our childhood, we have our adolescence, and we have our prime, and we have our mature age also. I mean, all countries pass through phases. So,
That's interesting. The
Yes.
lady, or which Felicia, whatever her name, that had interviewed His Majesty.
yes.
And your man is how do you feel about so and so. We will not judge about things already dead. Was her his answer. And she final question she got to ask him. So what does Haile Selassie think about death? So it was to a French interpreter. He's like, who's this woman? What does she want? Take her away. Interview done. Yes, sir.
I want to ask you a question. While in the prison of His Majesty, did you see a peculiar light in him, or there was a glow, and what kind?
Of course there was light. Of course, because he's come with a mission and he could take in the light and exude the aura also. There was a spiritual aura. Spiritual auras are usually blue and white and gold. They have the violet and gold aura around it. I didn't go into this for public books because then that would be a treatise on occultism or on mysticism or on pure thing. I had to present him so that it could be gullible to people. It's not only the Rastafarians or people from Ethiopia who are reading, it's people all over the world. So I had to make it palatable for them to know that this great being was there. And I had to be very careful about what I said because I'm introducing him at a time when he was already gone. So I had to watch my step. I even don't know whether, because I'm here in a community and it's a very sensitive thing because he is definitely an aspect or definitely a very great force of Christ. And coming there for the people, after he's gone, it's a sensitive issue. That's why he asked me, did anybody challenge this? They did. But I wrote what I saw, and it was definitely not a dream or anything, because when I put the havan on his hand like this, my hand touched his hand. And so he was not an apparition, he was actually flesh and blood. Yeah, and there was an aura around him. As a matter of fact, the aura filled the whole damn hotel was filled with this aura. But yeah, like if a master comes, like Sri Yukteswar used to come and Yogananda used to say the whole train is filled with his aura. I knew master was coming. So it doesn't need anyone to know that master is coming, it's very powerful. If you can see the aura of an ant, then you're subtle. If you see an aura of a Yukteswar and all, then there's no big deal, everybody sees it.
Yogiraj, did you teach him yoga? Was it Kriya Yoga?
See, he took it as a part of the interaction which he had with me. Nobody teaches anyone at that stage. I offered this to him. I told him this, I don't have this false conception that I taught him or he taught me and all, but he learnt it because it was a science from India and he benefited thereby. But for what he was, his greatness was still there. And he knew that his time was there. He had come back, whatever. Because when I met him, I didn't know that he was declared dead in 75. I was not aware of that. So I could not cheat or fudge or write any false information in my book. And my book is I don't know whether you have the book. If you don't have it, you should read it. And I would also like the information which you have about His Majesty, because if we can publish that, or if you have a book information, we can help you publish it. I could contribute or do my little bit, because I have a personal connection with him, so I naturally feel that such a great person shouldn't go unsung or unnoticed. Because he didn't care for this. But he's definitely still working on the spiritual sphere. Yes.
One second. Sister, could you just give this person a chance? She will have a eye. Gotcha.
Oh yes, I just wanted to share some experience with us here. That I used to work with a newspaper in Jamaica, and at that time the news used to come on a machine called a wire folder, and
lots of information would just roll off and fill the room. And editors and journalists would come and take what they want out of it and publish it. But I was just 16 years old, and I was very curious about the world because I was brought up in a very enclosed life. And so I read everything. And on a daily basis, there was releases from UPI, Reuters, Associated Press, all these international newspapers, commenting, making some comment about His Majesty's condition. And that is when, that roused my curiosity to the point where by 1974, when the Derg appeared, I was cognizant, it was to my knowledge that Fidel Castro had carried an army over to Namibia to fight that revolution and Angola. And after they were finished there, they had these 40,000 troops. And the Derg served the purpose of giving the army something to do. They went down to Ethiopia, and His Majesty actually said that he left Ethiopia in the best person's hand. That was Mengistu, who the world thing killed His Majesty. Mengistu lied that he had snuffed out His Majesty's life with a pillow while he was sleeping, and he buried him 7 feet below his office. It so happened that some 20 years later, this company that owns satellites sent 2 Germans, a male and a female, to Jamaica to see if they could get a company of Rastas, a group of Rastas, to fly down to Ethiopia to have an official burial ceremony. Now we know that 72 nations went to the coronation, represented, plus many other people, thousands of people. And
They went for the burial ceremony.
no,
They
no,
were-
we know that the crowning, the coronation in 1930.
The coronation, yes.
Yes, was very well attended by high-profile people from around the world, and that when one receives such recognition, when they pass away or transmit, these people like to pay tribute to the person